On the 24th of June, everyone must be home by sundown. They all know it's bad omen to stay out that night. Nevertheless, this doesn't stop the naive and curious from looking for them intentionally, unaware of the tragic consequences of their action. You do not want to come face to face with these spirits. They are known as Iele, and it is said they come down to bless the crops in the middle of summer. They hang out in the woods and in open fields, and are often described as tall, slender women dressed in ghostly white gowns, floating around in a wicked dance. The Iele are also known to bring immense healing powers to certain herbs, and if they're picked at dawn, they are said to miraculously cure ailments of all kinds. These herbs are often used by witches, and the initiated are said to even know of a certain potion that, if mixed with the fresh dew of these flowers, can act as water from the fountain of youth. The Iele have fascinated people both young and old, rich and poor, and the reckless have often paid too great a price to meet them. They are merciless fates, and depending on your luck, you will either be killed or in some way crippled for life for seeing them. If the spirits are spotted in the forest, they will invite you to join their dance around the fire. As you approach them, you will be able to hear the wind whistling through the trees, and soon enough a strong current will lift you up and spin you around in circles faster and faster. The Iele will start to sing, and you will be ripped to pieces by the whirlwind. If you spot them near a body of water, usually a lake, a pond, or a river, you will be drawn to follow them and drown in the dark depths. If they are spotted in an open field, they lure you in with their seductive, playful manner, removing their clothes and exposing their slender, youthful bodies and long, flowy hair. In no time, they will steal away your breath, and you will drop dead on the ground. There is also a trick they play to lure you out of your house at night. The Iele can mimic the voice of a loved one, a parent, a sibling, or a friend, and make it seem like they need your help. They will call out your name and guide you towards a well, from where the voice of your loved one seems to come. They will then push you into the well and cover it up, leaving you to drown in the freezing water. This trick is especially used in the rural areas and mostly works on men and young children. To conclude tonight's story, I will recount the story of my friend's great-grandfather. When he was in his early teens, him and his girlfriend at the time decided to go for a walk on the night of the Iele. It was past midnight when they eventually decided to head home and took the main road through the village. Part of the small village was surrounded by woods, and part of it by bare, empty hills. Not long before reaching their homes, they began to hear the faint sound of singing in the distance. Looking over their shoulder, they noticed several glowing figures, all dressed in white, approaching them. The young man, terrified out of his wits, quickly pulled his girlfriend to the side of the road and instructed her to hide in the ditch next to him. He told her to lay down and be quiet, not moving a muscle until the singing stopped. He made sure to also tell her not to look up at the women, no matter how tempting it might be. The following minutes, the singing only grew louder and louder, and probably even more bizarre to the girl was the fact that she could not hear the sound of steps approaching. falling prey to her own curiosity, she slightly lifted her head to look at the passing parade. She noticed 6 white figures to the right, floating just above the ground, singing loudly in a song she could not decipher. They had just passed the place where she and the young man were hidden. Deciding not to risk any further and having satisfied her itch to look, she turned her head back, ready to resume her hiding position. But one of them was there, bent over the ditch. A pale, white, featureless, blank face, staring mere inches away from her own frozen expression. The white hood covering her head and long robe shining in the total darkness, almost blinding her. But she could not look away from the pure white faceless creature before her. There were no eyes, no sockets, no nose, and no trace of a mouth. The thing just looked like it had a mask on. But it was no mask, it was no costume, and it definitely was no joke anymore. And even though there were no eyes on this thing, the girl could feel the ungodly gaze piercing right through her foolish soul. When the singing became barely audible, the figure straightened itself up and proceeded to follow in the direction that the others had went. Moments later, the young boy whispered to his girlfriend to hurry and stand up, ready to head home. But as he looked at her and saw the unmistakable look of horror on her face, he realized that she had not listened to him. He said nothing, for it was not a good time to scold her, and just thanked God that she was miraculously still alive. He took her home first and then headed home himself. It was only during the next day that everyone found out what happened. The whole village knew by noon. The girl had woken up paralyzed from the waist down. Too big a price to pay. Well, my hair definitely looks like I've come back from the dead, so I guess this completes the look. Yeah. Hi, hello, nice to meet you. I'm your lovely ghost. Hi everyone, I'm the mastermind behind all this. I'm sorry, my hand is shaking. I just wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who has been supporting me, my work in my channel. Thank you for all the comments. I always read them. I try to get back to all of you. Sometimes maybe I reply a little more than necessary, but it's whatever. Also, tonight's story is inspired by Romanian folklore, so if you enjoy that, if you enjoy that kind of thing in general, do let me know in the comment section below so I can do some more research and come up with something for you guys to enjoy, to fall asleep to, whatever. Anyways, yeah, the crazy makeup look is inspired by today's story, by the Iele. I don't know how well it turned out, but it's whatever. I do enjoy to play with makeup. I'm by no means a professional. Get used to it, you might see it in the future. Anyways, thank you again for listening to tonight's story. I hope you have a beautiful day or night, whatever it is for you when you're watching this. And I will see you next time. Bye!